Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the UK Northern Powerhouse on Transport Fever 2. This is going to be episode number 48 in the series, and in this episode we're going to continue on from Stoke-on-Trent and we're going to build the line across to Derby via Uttoxeter. Currently we're looking at this 156 shuttle between Crewe and Stoke-on-Trent. I've just put one unit on for now with four cars in total, 2 units, because I think it will potentially get quite busy. I will put more of these on once we extend the service out to Derby, but I just wanted to get that Crewe to Stoke link in and start growing the passenger numbers as 28 of 80, which, considering it's only just been running quite briefly, isn't too bad. Hopefully that should start to improve. Yeah, I've already named it the Crewe Derby service, because that's what it will be once we've got this line in. It's East Midlands Railway, because that's who is operating the line currently, and we are in 2020 anyway, so we're starting to catch up to ourselves with regards to the in-game date now. We will at some stage look at replacing some of the trains, like the East Coast Main Line Azumas and things like that will be replaced as and when I can. Off camera, just after I did the Stoke episode, I have done some adjustments to the road. So I've built this road here, which is almost like the M6. I'm not going to build a motorway because it is too much effort. I'm mostly concentrating on railway in this series, but I did want to connect a lot of the towns up and try and spur a bit of growth on for like Stoke-on-Trent and Crewe and Stafford. So I built this road which sort of represents where the M6 would be, and it comes up and meets the M62-ish and the M56-ish, what would be in real life, but not quite. So yeah, it's there anyway, and it's improving the road network. So we've got like Crewe, we've got 3,864 destinations, and that gives us 124% uplift. We've improved the roads around Stoke-on-Trent, so we've got what would be, I think it's the A500, which comes off the M6, goes Stoke and Uttoxeter and on to the east coast. So what have we got on? We've got 2,672, which gives an uplift of 90. Probably could do a little bit better, and probably will do once we've got the full cross service over towards Derby. So let's actually, now Derby does need to be rebuilt heavily. Let's just take a quick, we've got that junction. Well, it's not even a junction. Let's pause the game and let's delete all of this part of Derby, because this is in the way. I'm probably going to look at Derby Station in a bit more detail. I might possibly do it off camera, I'm not sure yet, because I have done a lot of station building in a lot of the videos, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. But yeah, this needs, I think for now I'll just chuck the junction in coming out of the bottom of Derby. Why is that 5? That's because we're on speed limited third rail track. When we want high speed, no catenary because it's not electrified, and then just chuck that out to there, heading pretty much northwesterly. Not sure what sort of speed we're going to need. I don't think we really need anything too quick, but yeah, this wants to head sort of towards, we'll have a half decent speed, 100 miles an hour, because I imagine we might even have voyages on this. I need to double check the cross country routes. Definitely going to have class 1 70s, I think, going down to Burton upon Trent. So we'll get this line in. It is relatively straightforward actually, because it's quite it is quite flat around these parts. Well, it is on this map. I'm not sure what it's like in real life, but I think it is relatively flat from my limited experience of driving over towards the east coast over the A500, which is not something I would care to repeat. Now, have I done that? Yeah, it is a bit, because of the way Burton on Trent is, it is a bit more northwesterly. It should southwesterly rather. It should be a bit more like this going down, but obviously because Burton upon Trent is there, it's not quite. So I think we will just have to, I think we'll have Uttoxeter station on the outskirts of Uttoxeter. I knew I was going to do this. I'm just drawing the A500, which I've only just built, but never mind. Right, so we'll get that in there, and then this wants to head Yeah, because I think this heads a little bit southeasterly to meet up with the line into Derby and to Burton-upon-Trent. Yeah, deleting all the nice road that I only just built. Never mind. Right, so we just bring this in. It is, so far it's relatively straightforward, but I don't want to speak too soon, so we might be able to get away with a decent speed. Let's just check. No, that's hideous. Even though it's relatively flat, it's still like, no, you can't have a nice junction. Not allowed to have nice things unless you work for it. So let's put the junction in first. It is nice if sometimes you can just chuck a junction in, but I do like to have the junctions quite flat, like so. And then can I, what's that give us? 94, that's alright actually, I will live with that. I'm quite happy with that. Top speed of the 170 is 100 anyway. Come on, just let me have that piece of track onto there, and then that's going to go into Uttoxeter. Now there is a piece of track somewhere. Yeah, there is another piece of track that comes off, by the looks of it, from around here and then doubles back on itself and joins in, but I don't think we're going to need it. I don't think there should be any services. Now, I'm fairly sure there are cross-country services to Burton-upon-Trent, but I am just going to quickly check my my service map, because I just want to make sure. So I would like to get as much of the railway in as possible, but at the same time I don't want to build kind of, well, having said that, I have built freight diversionary routes which are never going to get used, but don't want to build all the lines. So we do have a cross-country service which looks like it's coming from Darlington, so it'll be the Edinburgh service going down south somewhere, calls it Derby Burton-upon-Trent. So we are going to need, so where does it actually come from? Where does that service come from? It comes from Leeds, Wakefield, Kirkgate, Sheffield, Chesterfield, into Derby, and then Burton-upon-Trent is going to be the last stop on that, so that's fine. Don't think I'm going to need that little loop, so I think I will leave that for now, and then we will just build Uttoxeter station, which I haven't looked at, so I think I will just quickly have a look. Yeah, not anything to write home about, just a 2-track station. I am going to use the NL platforms for this because it looks relatively modern in its construction. It might have been updated, so, and it's got an overpass as well, so I tend to like to use this. I don't think it's got any passenger buildings by the looks of it again, so we will just go. What we're going to do with this, we've electrified it, that's what we wanted, but what do we want? MISC. So we'll have a couple of, I can't even see if it's got I don't think it's got any waiting facilities at all, so we'll just chuck in the overbridge like that, I think, and call that done. Not particularly exciting, but we do need to configure it, and we need some steps. Where are the steps? Are they in, I think they're in passenger buildings, aren't they, actually? Somewhere. Where are you? Are you? Or was it just right at the end? It's probably right at the other end. There. Right, so no, that's the passenger building. We just want steps. 1, 2, 3, and then fences. I'm going to put in some concrete walls to there, and then I think I'll put another one in, and then passenger buildings, I'll just finish that off so it's all, yeah, that'll do, I think. And then we just want to delete a bit more. Yeah, Uttoxeter station's a bit more on, I guess, the easterly side of Uttoxeter, but never mind, this will just have to do. And then we just want to flatten that out a little bit, make our life a little bit easier. 894 million, crikey. Just after I finished the last episode, I did inject another £5 billion into the kitty, and that's already been swallowed in the space of not very long at all. Really are eating through the money at the minute. It's just berserk the way I think our rail services are losing about, let's take a look, shall we? Rail services losing £359 million per year. 5.2. That's weird. The dates don't change. And that'll be because I've got, if we change that, that's a bit better, because we had the date fixed, so it would never change, but I think, yeah, that changes with, so if we put it on 1 time speed, that probably makes our life a little bit easier. So that's, yeah, still saying 2020, 2019, 2020, that's confusing me, but yeah, needless to say, we are losing a heck of a lot of money, but never mind, we are in it for the sort of realism. I don't really want to, hesitant to say realism, but we are in it to make the railway, not to actually earn profit. off it. It would be nice, but I think in Transport Fever 2 it's simply not possible, although it might be. Someone will probably prove me wrong and build a realistic railway which actually makes money at the same time, so let's not say things like that. Let's just get that connected up, and we want to level this off a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer, I think. Nothing fancy, and then we want to reconnect all this. Where's that going? That's not going anywhere. So where's Stoke-on-Trent junction is about here. So let's just bring this down. I'll try and maintain. I think about 100 is probably more than enough, because I don't know, as far as I'm aware, there's only on this particular route there's only the Crewe to Derby shuttle, which is often, I don't know what usually works it, but I've seen all sorts, 153s, 156s with top speed of 75 anyway, so I'll try and keep it at 100 just in case there's anything we do need to put on it, but I'm not really worrying too much about it. I don't think there's any significant tunnels or anything, because again we are really at the southern tip of the Pennines now, so it is relatively flat, and yeah, it's pretty, from my experience, it would just seem I was on this A road and it just seemed like I was on it forever, driving towards, I think, Peterborough or somewhere, I think, and it just seemed like an endless A road which was relatively flat and featureless. So yeah, I think we will just stick with that, and it's not giving us any gouges or any stupidly high embankments anyway, so that's not too bad. We can smooth those off quite quickly. It's one thing since upgrading my computer up, smoothing is so much quicker. It takes seconds to do what would take minutes with my other computer. It's just amazing what sort of a difference it does make. Get that all smoothed off and that. And I think what I want to do is, just before I forget, is connect this road up again after I've built it and then demolished it and then built it again. So straight across here shouldn't be anything particularly difficult. Just gird a bridge, something like that, not particularly complicated, and then just hopefully chuck that straight into there. Maybe hopefully chuck this straight into there as well, but no, I don't think so. That's asking a bit too much. But we don't want any funny viaducts or anything, or bridges. We just want something like that, and then I'm going to upgrade this so it belongs to me, and so the computer doesn't try and do anything on it. So we want some walls again. For not really concerned about what the walls are, which I think, yeah, if you work it from this end, it's usually more compliant. Just chuck a couple of these in, because if I don't do them now, I will just forget and it will get left. And I think it's not really super detailed, but it just helps just make those transitions a little bit nicer looking than they otherwise would. Just get that in there, just, yeah, something like that. Not really, don't want to spend a huge amount of time on it, just want to get it in. Come on, up there like that, and then another one, just chuck that in there like that. I still haven't figured out if there is a proper way to do this with roads yet, but as far as I can tell, they definitely do not, these ones definitely do not snap to roads, and they're not just, so if you use the railway sizes, they're just not quite wide enough. I think in Transport Fever 1 we did actually have an option for just one, so you could have half of one of these. I don't think we have anything like that. We've got no cap. No, that's still got a cap. None. Yeah, I mean, having said that, I could use those, couldn't I? That would probably look better with, but it's still missing the little end caps. So, but I think in future, I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. That's just a lot quicker than what I was doing, wasn't it? And you end up with the buttresses as well, which is better. Obviously that's glitching into there now, but that is a heck of a lot better. Is that bridge too low? It hasn't got any electrification, so it shouldn't be an issue. So I'm just going to leave it. Hopefully the train won't crash into it. Right, so that's all fine. We've connected that road back up. I think I would like to build a Uttoxeter bypass, so I'll just connect the A500 up. So we've come straight off there, keep it level, and then again, going to use, what's he saying, have a look at that. Let's use an arch bridge, I think, for once, because after all, not every single bridge in the country is a girder bridge. It doesn't, yeah, because that doesn't look too bad. Sometimes they just look awful, especially if they're particularly high or wide, but that doesn't look too bad, so I will take that as it is and just chuck in a little bypass here. See, what I would like more rail over bridges because they're a lot more straightforward to build. That's too long for an arch, I would suggest. Yeah, building rail over road bridges are a lot more straightforward, but I just haven't had the opportunity to build too many. Just chuck that into there, nice little bypass. Junction off there, doesn't need to go up in the air, it just wants to connect up to that. It's connected at both ends, which is good, and then we can just use one of these with no end caps, because a lot better. Just make sure it's lined up correctly with that before I just chuck it in there. Something like that, and then another one on this side. I do need to play around, there might be a better way of doing it. If there is, let me know in the comments, but that will do. I think that's a lot better than the way I was doing it anyway. Right, so we've got this road in now, that goes into Stoke-on-Trent as well. Do I need some signals? I don't think I do, but we do need some here. I always go for the triple aspect. I know there's no reason to, because they don't work properly, but it doesn't really make much difference anyway. The trains will stop on a yellow signal, so we don't really need to worry about it. It's just for looks, I think, more than anything. Just smooth some of this off. Yeah, smooth that off, and then we still got a load of roads to reconnect that I'd only just built. So 1, 2, 3, chuck that across there. Gird bridge again we'll have an under truss, I think, this time. I like the green. What's that? That's alright. I like using the green colour. Not sure where the other colours would be used. I think Manchester might have orange ones, possibly. The ones I'm familiar with around these sort of parts are being mostly painted green. They used to be just grey, like a boring grey colour, but recently it does appear that my Network Rail have started painting them a bit of a nicer green colour. Yeah, get on that, and then again just chuck one of these in just to finish the job off. Make sure it's all lined up correctly down to there, and then again just hopefully that should be lined up something like that, and then just flatten that off again. And yeah, just wanna, this track will probably be relayed at some stage, but not worried about that at the minute. And then I do want another bridge over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, because it's quite a long span, we'll go for it. No, let's stop zooming in and out. Should we go for something a bit different? Should we go for an orange overarch one like that, and then just get that hooked up into there, and then just bring this down. Now we don't want it on a bridge, thank you very much, we just want it on an embankment, and then chuck that into there. Actually, we just quickly downgrade that, and then upgrade it just so it's ours and the game doesn't mess around with that. And I guess into there as well, actually, just so we've got an express road into Derby itself. And then again, we just need to finish this off, don't we? Will that go in there without interfering with the track? It should do. Looks alright. Just bring that down till it stops glitching through the road, and again just chuck that in to there. Gives the bridge something to rest on, and then just smooth off this terrain here. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's not really that high off the ground. Go on, just smooth that out. Okie dokie, so they're all connected up now, that's all fine, that's into Derby. I think what I want is, coming out of Derby, we do want a set of points, so it will come in on this platform, and then, oh, that's just almost, yeah, it's actually glitching, but I'm going to leave that for now because that will be rebuilt at some stage anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I do want some temporary signals in there. I think I'll put a signal on the entry to the station, and then get rid of the electrification which is in the stations, because none of this is electrified. That isn't electrified, none of this should be. Just leave a little bit electrified into the Stoke line there, just because otherwise you can end up with rubbish looking electrification coming on the main line. So that's all built, that's into Derby. So what we can do now is get this rail route so the Crewe Derby can be extended from Stoke. So at a station, so we're going Uttoxeter, Derby, back to Uttoxeter, and then back to Stoke, like that. Are we on the right sort of platform? Because we were turning around at Stoke. I did put a set of points in temporarily. just so that could turn around. So that's doing that, and now we're having an autosave. Right, so that's in place, and just before... I can unpause the game now, I guess. Let's speed the game up. Where's that little 156 that we started the game on? He's trundling back to Stoke. I'm pretty sure I built a depot here, didn't I? Buy vehicles, multiple units, diesel. Oh, we do. Has this been updated, or did I just not look? That's interesting, because I was pretty sure when I did my UK mod showcase looking at the HSTs there wasn't any fixed formation sets, but there appears to be now. How long are they? How long are you? How long are you? Not sure. Well, that's interesting anyway. I'm pretty sure they weren't there before. Maybe it's had a little bit of an update. But what we're doing, we're actually looking for those. So I'll put 2 on, buy one of them, upgrade it. No, well, put the maintenance on it, and then it's East Midlands, Crewe Derby. This probably will need, I reckon, 3 or 4, because it wants to be a good shuttle, because it's the only, as far as I can make out, it's literally the only service that serves Uttoxeter. But while he's just trundling, I'll keep an eye on him. While he's trundling along, I'm going to put on the Crewe to Stoke, and then Stafford, which is going to be the London North Western Railway service, which wants to be on, I like to do it from the platform, I don't know why. So line 1 wants to be on platform number 6, because that, why are you moaning? No, why have I done that? I think this needs a little bit of reconfiguring. I suppose I could put that service, actually yeah, that's what I should have done. I know the layout is nowhere near realistic, but yeah, there was a reason I did that, so I think I'll put that back. I'll put that signal back in there. Is that set to one way? That is good. So that in there, I've got an intermediate signal there, and I think, yeah, so that's fine. What I need to do is transfer this to platform number 4. That can share that with the East Midlands Rail service, and this is the London North Western Railway Crewe to Stafford, which would be London North Western Crewe to, where would it be going? London Euston via Stoke. The semi-fast 2 hour 20 minute service from Crewe, and that wants to be electrical multiple unit. It wants to be a 350, which we haven't really looked at in any sort of great detail, and I think actually we do need to update them at some stage. Yeah, that's the intermediate one, isn't it? And then this is the full London North Western livery, so we'll buy one of them as well, put some of that on, and then that wants to be Crewe Stafford. What? Why are you moaning at me? Because why? Yeah, how could I have not thought that was electrified? Of course it is, if it's going to be class 350s. So yeah, that was lucky. This all wants to be electrified. I think, yeah, quickly before I forget, let's go diesel. Where is it? 156 down from the very bottom. Another 2 by 25 East Midlands Railway. There is actually an EMR purple now. Haven't seen an East Midlands Rail purple one Sprinter, I don't think. I'd be interested to take a look at. Where's that little 350 gone? He's there. Yeah, so I don't need to keep an eye on him anymore, that's fine. But what I do want to do is we'll have another London North Western Railway 350. I think 2 should be more than sufficient for this. This isn't really, actually it's a bright green, that's fine, but they are going, are they going, yeah, they are going onto the, I think these ones here would be the slow lines, wouldn't they, because these would go off towards Birmingham. Ah, no, I wonder. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter too much anyway, because we are working with a terminus anyway, which it wouldn't be, but I was just thinking out loud. London West Crewe Stafford. I'm just wondering, when it comes from Stoke approaching Stafford via Norton Bridge, if it'd be onto the fast lines. I guess it would, because it needs to go left over the Trent Valley route, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. It's just another good service to have in place. Got lots more connectivity going on now in this particular region. It was quite sparse down here really for connectivity, so it's a lot better. Anyway, it's getting quite busy now. Yeah, so we've got that service in, and I think, was that all I wanted to do? Possibly. Need to do the little bit down to Burton-on-Trent to get some sort of service into there. Got these East Midlands. Derby I'll rebuild off camera. Toxteth needs a bus shuttle of some description, but other than that, this line definitely isn't electrified, I know that much, but this one definitely is. Good, got quite a lot done, so we've got all of this southern sort of area now done. Could probably do with looking a little bit more attention over this side of the map. So we've got Market Raisin, Lincoln, Gainsborough still yet to be connected up, and Mansfield yet to be connected up as well. So we've got loads still to do. We're almost 48 episodes, almost 50 episodes in. I reckon we're 2/3 through now, maybe, with another third to do. So yeah, things are certainly cracking on. So we have built, what have we built? This route in from Derby. Where is, don't tell me they're all over this side of the map, that would be really annoying. No, we do have that 156. So I think what I will do is I will give you a little bit of a cab ride from Derby down to Stoke-on-Trent, I think, over this new section of line that I built. If you want to see longer cab rides, then I do put some exclusively for my patron supporters, just as a little thank you to those for supporting me, just as a little extra perk for patron supporters. So yeah, do consider checking that out. There's a link to my Patreon in the description below, as always. So as soon as he gets to Derby, I will leave you with him, and I will leave it there and say until next time, bye bye.